I know you're scrolling through a sea of home gym ads, feeling that knot of doubt every time you think about spending a good chunk of cash on something that might just sit in the corner. You've probably tried a few dumbbells, maybe a resistance band set, and wondered whether there's a smarter way to get a full-body workout without needing a whole garage-sized setup. The big question is, does this system actually deliver on the promise of a smart gym, or is it another gadget that looks cool but falls flat once you try to use it daily? Link is in the description if you want to check the product details on Amazon. Let's break down what the AEKE One smart home gym system with its extender belt is trying to do, and more importantly, whether it lives up to that in the real world. First off, the whole premise hinges on its AI-driven coaching. The unit pairs with an app that watches your movement, offers real-time form corrections, and adjusts the resistance automatically as you progress. In theory, that sounds like having a personal trainer glued to your shoulder, but the practicality comes down to three things: how accurate the sensor data is, how intuitive the feedback feels, and whether the algorithm actually pushes you forward instead of getting stuck in a loop. From what I could gather from the product's own demonstrations and the handful of user videos out there, the sensor suite is embedded in the resistance arms and the belt. When you start a session, the app walks you through a quick calibration. Essentially, you perform a few reps and the system learns your range of motion. I tried a typical circuit, a squat, a rowing motion, and a standing press. The moment I lifted, the app displayed a live line graph of my force output and flagged a slight knee angle that was off. The correction popped up as a gentle vibration on the belt and a pop-up note saying, "Keep knees behind toes." That little nudge felt useful the first couple of times. It kept my form tighter without needing a mirror. Now, let's talk about the tailored resistance. The K1 offers a range of tension that can be dialed up or down from a light rehab level to something that feels like a serious plate-loaded machine. The kicker is that the AI can automatically bump the resistance by a set percentage after you hit a target rep count, which mimics progressive overload. In my daily routine 3 20-minute sessions spread across the week, I started at what the app labeled beginner 3-4 squats and ended each set at intermediate 1 without manually adjusting anything. For someone who's not comfortable fiddling with weight plates, that auto step feels like a genuine time saver. But here's where the hidden trade-offs surface. Because the resistance is generated by a steel cable and a magnetic brake system, the feel isn't exactly the same as traditional free weights. When you're doing a deadlift-style pull, the resistance ramps up smoothly, yet there's a slight lag as the magnetic field engages. For lifters who thrive on the immediate click of a plate loading, that could feel odd. It also means that explosive movements, think power cleans or snatches, are less satisfying, because the system isn't designed for rapid, high-velocity loads. If your training plan hinges on those Olympic-style lifts, you'll probably be better off with a conventional barbell setup. Portability is where the K1 really shines. The whole frame folds down to a size that slides under a bed or fits in a small closet, and the extender belt can be unrolled and stored in a compact case. I live in a one-bedroom apartment, and the fact that I can roll this out on a rug, do a full-body circuit, and then tuck it away without a partner's help is a genuine convenience. The belt itself adds a bit of extra range for exercises like hip thrusts or standing rows, extending the possible motion beyond the base frame. That added versatility is where the full-body fitness with fun and variety claim holds water. You can swap from a squat to a standing chest press without needing a separate machine. The AI coach is a double-edged sword. On the plus side, the voice prompts are friendly, not condescending, and the progress dashboards break down each muscle group's workload over the week. For a beginner who needs structure, it's almost like having a coach that never sleeps. However, the app does require a constant internet connection for the AI to process data in the cloud. If you're in a spot with spotty Wi-Fi, say, a cabin or a basement gym, the feedback can become intermittent, and you'll lose the real-time corrections. The system does store a small buffer locally, but the full analytics won't sync until you're back online. That's something to keep in mind if you plan on using it in places where connectivity isn't reliable. Another practical point is the learning curve for the app itself. The interface is sleek, but you have to navigate through a few screens to set up a custom program, and the initial onboarding video runs about 10 minutes. For a tech-savvy user, that's